What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, guys. Hope everybody's having a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you see in this video. We got a crap ton of information yesterday about college football, and even more is coming today. I don't know if EA is going to do a trailer of sorts, but they should be releasing some sort of deep dive information because everybody that went to the thing in Orlando aren't able to talk about more in detail until today, and that's after EA talks about it. So I wanted to cover something that I read about yesterday and add this sort of to our playbook thing. And it's about the option game. So in this article here, he says the playbooks have always differentiated college football games from Madden. This is the case again. College Football 25 has 134 different playbooks. That is so awesome. Part of 10 different offensive styles. One thing I've learned from reading about people talking about the game that's played it and stuff like that is that kind of what we talked about with our playbook series, how personnel matters. Guys, that from what I've heard about this game, that is going to be true. You know what I'm saying? If you're not built to run a option style offense, you're not going to do as well in it as a team that is. And it goes in part with the wear and tear system. I've learned that is your wear and tear system is tied to your strength attribute. So the higher your strength, the less wear and tear that you have. That is really cool that they're tying things into that, because before, I mean, what did strength really do in the game? I don't think anybody really knew what the strength attribute did in the game. So that's interesting. But going on, he said, I committed many delay of game penalties just looking through the playbooks. There are different menus for plays, ranging from coach suggestion to formations to concepts and more. That's similar to Madden. The play menu is designed essentially the same as Madden. Nope, no worries there. He said, I spent a good 20 minutes with Wake Forest to test the Demon Deacons RPO slow mesh offense. And what slow mesh is generally RPOs are run a little bit faster. Slow mesh means it's a long ride. They're riding out the backs longer. It takes a little bit longer for the RPO to develop. And there's strengths and benefits to those, okay? And I'll talk about that a little bit going over this stuff. The RPO options include 4 different kinds of plays: read, peek, alert, and glance. Now, currently in Madden, because that's the only game that we have RPOs in as far as football, you have read, peek, and alert. I'm going to go over those today. Glance is a new concept. I don't know the way that EA would, I don't know how EA is going to handle a glance concept, but from what I understand about a glance concept in an RPO is it's a little bit different than alert, or I mean a peek. Peek, you're going to be reading more a linebacker. You're reading more of a linebacker, maybe a defensive end, but it's generally a linebacker that you're reading on peek. Glance, you're reading more of the secondary guys. So like what we currently do in our offense at the high school, it's not an RPO. The coach doesn't call it an RPO, guys, but essentially it is. The quarterback has an option at the snap to either throw a quick screen or hand the ball off. That's an option, but he doesn't call it an RPO. I don't know, but I digress. But you're not reading a linebacker in that sense. You're reading the secondary. If the corner is lined up so far off the running back, then, I mean, off the receiver, then the quarterback has the option to throw a screen or hand it off. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, he says you could choose to throw a quick pass instead of a handoff, but you have to do it quickly or else you'll be hit with an illegal man downfield penalty. This is new. I don't recall ever seeing this in Madden running RPOs. That is so cool that they have that in the game. It's crazy. A penalty that can change how a game is played, but it's realistic, and I love that. He said that happened to me several times. I didn't find any actual slow mesh plays, but a developer said they should be in the final game. So slow mesh is going to be a deal. And guys, that's very important, because remember they said options are very good in the game. Okay, you're going to have to learn how to defend them, and you're going to have to be good at running them. He said I also spent time with Air Force to test the triple option. One change in the option and RPO plays is that you tap a button to pull the ball as the quarterback rather than pressing a button to hand it off like in the past. And like I said yesterday, I don't even remember having to push a button to hand it off. But yeah, Looking back, yeah, you had to in NCAA 14 push a button to hand it off. Now you push a button to pull it in the RPO system. There are two plays in RPOs in Madden right now, peak and alert, where the game is going to automatically give it to the running back. Okay, so read is a little bit different. He's going to keep it, but it's cool that you can push a button to keep it. All right. Where was I at? Rather than pressing a button to hand it off like in the past, he said that was an adjustment. There are also two options on pitches, similar to throwing the ball downfield. You can tap the left bumper for a quick pitch or hold it for a stronger pitch. And I would imagine a quick pitch is if they're close to you. A longer pitch is if they're further away from you. That would be my guess. I wonder how that's going to work out. That's something a lot of people are asking about. But the RPO stuff is very, very interesting because you've got your slow mesh, you got your fast mesh, and like I said, the options in the game are gonna be better. Now, several other people have talked about how RPOs work in the game and said that they are hard to defend against, which that doesn't bother me. I know people's biggest fear is saying, oh, this is going to be overpowered in the game, or this is going to be overpowered in the game. Something's always going to be sort of overpowered in a game. RPOs are overpowered in real life football. That's why everybody's implementing them in their offenses, because it's overpowered. It puts so much strain on the defense. Looking at the plays, and I just pulled this up from Madden, RPOs, run pass options. If you don't know, you have peak, alert, peak, read, and alert. And then you also have glance, which is coming. But anyway, so your peak concept, okay? You have a zone peak. It's zone, okay? What zone means is that you're running the run portion of this is a zone concept, all right? You're giving the running back the ball, and on this particular play, you're going to be zoning to the left. The linemen are zone blocking to the left, okay? In zone peak here, it's going to the right. Guess what? They're zoning right. The run concept behind it is a zone, all right? So as far as peak, you're looking at a linebacker that could be positioned somewhere here. You know, you're not reading a middle linebacker. You're reading an outside linebacker to the throwing side, okay? Why? Because see, the mesh right here is going to the left. It doesn't make sense for the mesh to be going to the right and your throw concept is going backside on a peak. You know what I'm saying? So the mesh is going to the left. That's so the quarterback can read this linebacker here, okay? Now, if you're also going to have a secondary guy here. Notice it's a tight end right here or a wing. It's not a double wide set in this particular play. So your read is going to be fairly simple. If that linebacker, okay, if he drops back into coverage right here, all right, because your ideal route is this slant, okay? It's not the bubble, it's the slant, all right? So what you're hoping happens is one of two things, okay? You're hoping that the linebacker either flows with the running back in the zone, okay, or he goes out to cover this flat route. Because if he goes out to cover this flat route, which he would generally do in the man-to-man concept, if he's manned up right here, cornerback's manned up, the corner run with the slant, you can get away with throwing this slant because the safeties are going to be too far away to play that, all right? And you're hoping to get that one-on-one coverage with the cornerback. That way you can hit the slant. So if he flows with this out route right here, okay, then you can hit the slant. The slant should be open, okay? It's going to be tough, though, because, you know, you want to make sure that slant route clears the linebacker, okay? Now, if he flows with that, that's another way for this slant route to be open. If he comes downfield, if he's on a blitz, if he flows with the running back on the zone, because – you know, he could be keying the running back. They could have a safety manned up on this guy back here. That would also open this up. All right. So, excuse me. With that being said, that's why the slant route is on the outside as opposed to down here where the slant is on the inside. You're targeting the linebacker here. Does that make sense? So, with that being said, once that concept happens, if he flows with the running back, bam, I can hit that slant route. Okay. If he's in man against this tight end or if this is a wing, whoever, and he flows with him, bam, I can hit the slant route as well. All right. Or if he flows with this guy and he goes away, I can give it. Does that make sense? If he stays back in coverage, I can give it. Okay. So there's two different ways to run that peak concept, but you're reading a guy. Okay. And then right here, the same one, another zone peak. Okay. We're zoning to the right. All right. You got your slot receiver now. We're in doubles. Okay. Two wide receivers on both sides. All right. He's running a slant route to the inside. Your slot receiver is running a slant route now. Okay. Backside is just running your typical, almost like an in route of sorts. Okay. This route is just made to hold the cornerback. Okay. Maybe tie up a safety. This one is very, very different because you're dealing with a double set, two wide. So this guy's more likely going to be covered by a safety if it's man-to-man coverage. If it's zone, you're still keying this linebacker. This linebacker drops back into coverage right here, then that slant is not open. I need to give it. But similar to this, if he comes downfield to play the run, now I can squeeze this into the window because with it being doubles, you're going to have a corner here, and the safety's more likely going to be here, especially if they're in man. Now, say they're running a cover 2. You got two high safeties. He's playing deep. He's playing deep. You got a corner right here. If it's cover 2 man, that he's going to be manned up against a linebacker or possibly another defensive back, depending on what defense what defense they're playing. Okay, but let's say that they come out in a 4-3 and this guy is a slot receiver lined up against a linebacker, which is a major disadvantage. And especially in this game, they talked about how linebackers aren't just covering receivers like DBs anymore, which is a good deal. Or you got a 4 or 5 star guy going against a 2-3 star linebacker. This is a major mismatch, and this could still be a viable option. But ideally, what you're looking for in this run pass option concept is if that linebacker comes down, bam, I hit that slant. Because if they are playing a cover 2 with the safety over the top, safety's not going to get there in time. You're going to hit this a lot quicker. But if that safety is sort of rolled down somewhere here and they're in a man-to-man concept, and that backer comes down to play the run, then you can still get away with hitting this. It's really going to depend on the leverage of the safety, because generally in a 2 high, or if you got doubles and you got a corner and a safety over here, all right, the safety is going to be playing more on the inside of this guy because the corner is going to be playing more on the outside. The corner wants to take away or force this guy actually to his help. Okay. The corner has help on the inside. So the corner is going to be playing more outside leverage. All right. And to help with that, generally your safety is going to be playing in outside leverage or outside leverage of number 2, because he's there to play on number 2 while help on number 1, because his inside help is the backers and well, generally backside safety and corner, but they could be tied up with these guys. Does that make sense? So corner knows my leverage is inside. That's the safety. So he's going to be playing more either head up or outside shade. Could be playing the inside shade. But the safety's not, he's concerned with giving up the outside deep. So he's not so much concerned with the inside. You got backers there. Middle linebacker may drop back. That's why this is still an option. All right. So that's the concept of a peak concept. A glance, which is the new one that they're going to be adding to college football, would be similar to this, but instead of keying a linebacker, you're going to be keying a secondary back. RPO glance concept could also include a trip set. See, a lot of these only include a doubles or a single wide receiver kind of deal. Glance could also incorporate, because you do have RPOs out of trips. Hey, if I look out here, let's look at this one over here. Let's look at alert to use this concept because they're running a route concept off of that. A glance concept would be, I look out there and I got doubles, all right? But my cornerback, okay? My cornerback is pressing. And let's use this exact route concept. My cornerback is pressing right here, and the safety playing against this guy is playing off of the ball. That's a concept where I know that this screenplay is going to be open. Why? Because with the cornerback down, with the cornerback down pressing this number 1 receiver, it's going to be a lot easier for him to get that block. Okay. Yeah, you're taking a chance because he could easily get off of it and make this tackle. So ideally, if you have a corner down right here, it's still viable. But ideally what you want is the corner to be off and maybe the safety playing down. Now that corner is going to go, this receiver is going to go and block this guy. The corner's too far away to get to it in time. He's able to catch the ball, and now we're looking at a one-on-one match, in open field. Does that make sense? So, the glance is where you're reading, that's a guy in the secondary pre-snap. You're reading what the secondary is lined up in. In peak, you're reading mostly the linebacker because it's all formational. Does that make sense? It's all route oriented. Peak concepts, these guys are going to be running a slant. They're attacking the linebackers. A glance concept, they're attacking the secondary. Okay, and I can't wait for them to show that. Now, your read concept, these are the ones that's going to be in Madden right now that are more slow mesh. And what I mean by slow mesh is the peak and the alert, they're going to happen a lot quicker. The read, that those plays tend to take a little bit more time to develop. Okay, because you're reading several different things. All right, RPO, orbit, bubble. Your receiver over here is going to be running a bubble route. All right, so you got your two receivers to the play side. Okay, my back is running through the A gap. Okay, you're riding him. All right, and you're reading several things. Okay, you're reading the linebackers, first of all, because if they crash in here, I don't want to give it. You're also reading the secondary here. Okay, depending on what they do. If they bail out, then you know that this bubble backside is going to be open. So I'm faking the read concept, and then boom, I'm throwing the bubble in the flats. We're off to the races. All right. But if those guys are pressed down here, that may not be a good deal. Or you could simply just read the alignment of the secondary. Okay. If they have a cornerback here and the safety over the top, say a cover two look, three linebackers here, they collapse on the run. I got two blockers. He can get to that corner. He can get to that safety. They're not worried about that. That bubble is open as well. All right. Same thing right here. Or the quarterback could keep it. He could keep it himself and run it. Like think like the play action read or the read option, okay, in Madden where you're reading the defensive end right here or a linebacker. If they collapse on the running back, I'm keeping it. Okay. I'm keeping it. All they're adding to that is a passing concept. So think your general read option where you're reading the end. Or an outside linebacker, an outside threat, if they collapse here on the running back, I keep it. Now I have the choice to run it. Okay. But as I'm running it, now I also have the option to pass off of that. So think like a triple option pass, if you will. Okay. The first option is to give it to the running back. The second option is to run it with the quarterback. The third option is if they collapse on the quarterback, bam, I can hit that screen route or that bubble route. All right. Same concept down here. All right, we're looking on the right side this time. You do have that backside hitch or go route that could be open, but this is your last look. All right, same concept here. I'm going to be reading maybe an outside linebacker or a defensive end. If they collapse on the run right here, then I'm going to keep it. If they play outside, I'm going to give it. All right. Now, if they collapse on the run inside, I'm faking it here. Now I can run with the quarterback. All right. They collapse onto the quarterback, bam, I can hit that screen route. If they don't collapse on the quarterback and they play back, guess what? I'm off to the races. Like Lee Corso say, I'm off to the races, my friend. All right. And then your alert plays here. These are the plays where it's happening as it plays out. Now, this is similar to my glance plays. Where peak, I'm reading the linebackers. Alert, you're reading multiple reads. Okay, so alert here, if this backer collapses here, all right, then I'm keeping the ball and I can hit this slant route. Okay, same thing, you may be reading a backer on this side, okay, or a corner. If that corner is playing off and the backers collapse or they flow with the run, then bam, I can hit this. The difference between alert and peak is on peak, your run plays are going to the opposite side of the run play or opposite of where the quarterback is looking. Does that make sense? My back is lined up on the same side as the route so that when I'm riding, and I hate to show it because y'all can't see what I'm doing, but as I'm riding the running back, pause, here, my eyes are still here. Alert is backside of that. Okay, my run is going away. Okay, I may be doing a pitch play here or I may be doing a handoff going to the right, but the concept is to the left. Okay, here I'm handing off the ball on my right side and the concept is to my right. Same thing here, I'm handing off the ball to my left, but the passing concept I'm looking at is to my left. Alert is backside. Alert, alert, alert. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a backside handoff here. That means flow is going away. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for flow going away. All right. And bam, I can turn and hit this screen route or this bubble route right here. Or right here, boom, flow is going away. Okay, this corner is playing off. Look at the alignment here. All right. On this one, I'm at an even surface, two-man surface on both sides. Okay, so the defense is balanced in this formation. It's a balanced set. In this formation with your alert system, it's not a balanced set. All right. So if I'm playing defense against this formation, I'm not going to overload this side of the field. I have a three-man surface with two wide receivers, okay, to the surface. So generally, you're going to have your safeties. If I'm in a 4-3, cornerbacks over here, okay, my safety's going to be over here. This backside safety is not playing down. He's going to be playing back. So I'm going to be in a one-on-one situation with this cornerback, okay? Does that make sense? Linebackers are here. And if they see flow going to the strength, okay, they're more likely going to flow. That's going to open up space for this right here. My key in this is going to be two things, my backside backer and my play side defensive back. If that backer drops back into coverage right here, I need to give that because this is not going to be open, okay? I'm giving it. And that's fine. Why? Because I got three blockers here, two blockers there. You get what I'm saying? However, if that backer here flows away, this is going to be open. All right. I got a one-on-one coverage with this guy. I can hit that. And that's fine because if flow's going away, more than likely I'm going to be at a disadvantage here in the run game. But at the end of the day, you know, if I can gain a yard or get back to the line of scrimmage, it's a win-win situation. So I don't want to force this. Okay. You need to look at the leverage of the cornerback in this play as well. All right. And then the zone weak alert, okay, once again, it's a zone concept to the left, but this time I'm running away from the three-man surface. I'm running away from the strength, okay? Because if people see you doing this all the time, running to the strength, now I'm running to the backside, you know what I'm saying? If they run in a under concept, remember under is whenever they shift away from the tight end, okay? If they're running an under concept and they're shifted away to the boundary, or something like that, or to the weak side of the play, okay? Now flow is going away here. Now I'm playing off of this, okay? Now that safety's that's sitting right here over the top, he flows away, or he comes down for run coverage, or he's playing back, or they even have a linebacker out here against this guy, okay? I'm faking here, that backer comes here to play the run, bam, I can hit that screen, okay? I got a corner playing down and a safety playing back. Linebackers drop back into coverage, bam, I can hit that screenplay, okay? Or would it be in a backside concept if they play in an over concept where they're cheated over, the backers are here at the snap of the ball, that backer drops back right here, bam, I can give that, okay? It's also advantageous if, okay, here I'll have two guys here. If I just have one guy here and a backer over here, like I said, majorly in a under or in an over concept, then if I have an advantageous situation, then I can give it. Okay. And then, like I said, your glance concepts are really going to break down into you reading more of the secondary and what they're lined up in pre-snap. That's why they call it glance. And you'll see that sometimes in college football where quarterback comes up to the line of scrimmage and he's going to glance and see what they're lined up in the secondary. All right. Like, let's use this example, the alert example. In a glance concept, all right, I'm going to glance out here and look at the secondary. Okay, if the screen is going, if I want to run a screen with this guy here, my outside receiver, generally a glance concept, you're not so much running a bubble, you're more looking at running a screen with this outside receiver. Okay, so let's say he's the blocking receiver, he's the screen guy. Okay, in a glance concept, I'm looking out here. If that cornerback, like I said, is playing 8 yards off the football, then I know I'll have that open. Okay. Because that backer isn't going to get there in time, the safety isn't going to get there in time, and he has time to get to the next level to block. Bam, I can hit that. Or, hey, let's take the same concept here with the bubble. All right. If in a glance concept, if I look out there, hey, if that corner's playing tight and that backer's off and the safety's off, I can hit this bubble. Why? This is going to be an easy block for this wide receiver right here. Even better if he's playing off. Hey, and then the safety's playing off, the backer's playing here. Now, hopefully, if the game does this, they would adapt him to go and block the most dangerous guy, which in this case would be the linebacker. Easy block right here on the linebacker. Bam, I hit the bubble, and then I'll have a one-on-one with the cornerback right there for some easy yardage. Okay, but like I said, the game says that the options are going to be really, really good in the game. The RPOs are going to be hard to stop. With the new passing mechanic, though, it's going to be a challenge for you to master this stuff. So don't worry about this stuff being OP. It's going to take some learning curve for people to even get used to the new passing, get used to the timing of all of these different plays and everything. And I can't wait to see how they do slow mesh in the game. So if you're interested in RPOs, man, this is going to be fun. You're going to have fun with your offenses running RPOs in this game, and I can't wait to see how they look. Guys, that's all I got for right now. I'll be back whenever they come out with more information. We'll do like we did yesterday with a little live stream, depending on the time that it comes out, or I may just do a follow-up video after I get back from the camp that we have going on today. But that's all I got, guys. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.
EA Sports. It's in the game.